Never tell me. I take it much unkindly that thou, Iago, who hast had my purse as if the strings were thine, shouldst know of this.
But you'll not hear me. If ever I did dream of such a matter, abhor me.
Thou toldst me thou didst hold him in thy hate.
Despise me if I do not. 3 great ones of the city, in personal suit to make me his lieutenant, off cap to him, and by the faith of man, I know my price. I am worth no worse a place. But he, as loving his own pride and purposes, evades them. None suits my mediators. For certes, says he, I have already chose my officer. And what was he? Forsooth, a great arithmetician, one Michael Cassio, a Florentine, that never set a squadron in the field, nor the division of a battle knows more than a spinster. But he, sir, had the election. He, in good time, must his lieutenant be, and I, God bless the mark, his Moorship's ensign.
By heaven, I rather would have been his hangman.
Why, if there's no remedy, 'tis the curse of service. Preferment goes by letter and affection, and not by old gradation, where each second stood heir to the first. Now, sir, bejudge yourself, whether I in any just term am affined to love the Moor.
I would not follow him then.
Oh, sir, content you. I follow him to serve my turn upon him. In following him, I follow but myself. Heaven is my judge, not I for love and duty, but seeming so for my peculiar end. For when my outward action doth demonstrate the native act and figure of my heart in complement extern, 'tis not long after, but I will wear my heart upon my sleeve for daws to peck at. I am not what I am. Call up her father, rouse him.
Here is her father's house. What ho, Brabantio! Signor Brabantio, ho!
Awake! What ho, Brabantio! Thieves! Thieves! Look to your house, your daughter, and your bags! Thieves! Thieves!
What is the reason of this terrible summons? What is the matter there?
Signors, all your family within.
Are your doors locked?
Why? Wherefore ask you this?
Zoons, sir, you're robbed. For shame, put on your gown. Your heart is burst. You have lost half your soul. Even now, very now, an old black ram is tupping your white ewe. Arise, arise. Awake the snorting citizens with the bell, or else the devil will make a grandsire of you. Arise, I say.
What? Have you lost your wits?
Most reverend signor, do you know my voice?
Not I. What are you?
My name is Roderigo.
The worser welcome. I have charged thee not to haunt about my doors. In honest plainness, thou hast heard me say, my daughter is not for thee. And now in madness, being full of supper and distempering draughts, upon malicious knavery, dost thou come to start my quiet?
Sir.
But thou must needs be sure. My spirit and my place have in them power to make this bitter to thee.
Patience, good sir.
What tell'st thou me of robbing? This is Venice. My house is not a grange.
Zoons, sir, you are one of those that will not serve God if the devil bid you. Because we come to do you service, and you think we are ruffians, you'll have your daughter covered with a Barbary horse. You'll have your nephews neigh to you.
What profane wretch art thou?
I am one, sir, that comes to tell you your daughter and the Moor are now making the beast with 2 backs.
Thou art a villain.
You are a senator.
This thou shalt answer. I know thee, Roderigo.
Sir, I will answer anything, but I beseech you, if it be your pleasure and most wise consent, as partly I find it is, that your fair daughter transported with no worse nor better guard, but with a knave of common hire, a gondolier to the gross clasps of a lascivious Moor. Straight satisfy yourself. If she be in her chamber or your house, let loose on me the justice of the state for thus deluding you.
This accident is not unlike my dream. Belief of it oppresses me already. Light! I say, light!
Farewell, for I must leave you. It seems not meet nor wholesome to my place to be productive, as if I say I shall, against the Moor. That you shall surely find him lead to the Sagittary, the raised search. and there will I be with him. So farewell.
It is too true and evil. Gone she is. And what's to cover my despised time is naught but bitterness. Now, Roderigo, where didst thou see her? Oh, unhappy girl. With the Moor, sayest thou? Ah, who would be a father? How dost thou know 'twas she? Oh, she deceives me past thought. What said she to you? Get more tapers. Raise all my kindred. Are they married, think you?
Truly, I think they are.
Oh, heaven. How got she out? Oh, treason of the blood. Fathers, from hence trust not your daughters' minds by what you see them act. Do you know where we may apprehend her and the Moor?
I think I can discover him if you please to get good guard and go along with me.
Pray you lead on. At every house I'll call. I may command at most. Get weapons, ho,
Yes, sir.
and raise some special officers of might.
Right away, sir.
On good Roderigo, I will deserve your pains.
Though in the trade of war I have slain men, yet do I hold it very stuff of the conscience to do no contrived murder. I lack iniquity, sometimes to do me service. 9 or 10 times I had thought to have yerked him here under the ribs.
'Tis better as it is.
Nay, but he prated and spoke such scurvy and provoking terms against your honor that with the little godliness I have, I did full hard forbear him. But I pray you, sir, are you fast married? Be assured of this, that the Magnifico is much beloved and hath in his effective voice potential as double as the Duke's. He will divorce you, or put upon you what restraint and grievance the law with all his might to enforce it on will give him cable.
Let him do his spite. My services, which I have done the signory, shall out-tongue his complaints. My demerits may speak unbonneted to as proud a fortune as this that I have reached. For know, Iago, but that I love the gentle Desdemona, I would not my unhoused free condition put into circumscription and confine for the sea's worth. But look, what lights come yond?
Those are the raised father and his friends. You were best go in.
Not I must be found. My parts, my title, and my perfect soul shall manifest me rightly. Is it they?
By Janus, I think no.
The servants of the Duke, and my lieutenants. The goodness of the night upon you, friends. What is the news?
The Duke does greet you, General, and he requires your haste, post-haste appearance, even on the instant.
What is the matter, think you?
Something from Cyprus, as I may divine. It is the business of some heat. The galleys have sent a dozen secret messengers this very night at one another's heels, and many of the consuls, raised and met, are at the Duke's already. You have been hotly called for. When not being at your lodging to be found, the Senate hath sent about 3 several quests to search you out.
'Tis well I am found by you. I will but spend a word here in the house and go with you.
Ensign, what makes he here?
Faith, he tonight hath boarded a land carrack. If it prove lawful prize, he's made forever.
I do not understand.
He's married.
To who?
Married to... Come, Captain, will you go?
Have with you.
Here comes another troop to seek for you.
It is Brabantio. General, be advised. He comes to bad intent.
Hola! Stand there.
Signior, it is the Moor.
Down with him, thief!
You, Roderigo? Come, sir, I am for you.
Keep up your bright swords, for the Jew will rust them. Good senior, you shall more command with years than with your weapons.
Oh, thou foul thief! Where hast thou stowed my daughter? Judge me the world if 'tis not gross incense that thou hast practiced on her with foul charms, abused her delicate youth with drugs or minerals that weaken motion. All have disputed on. 'Tis probable and palpable to thinking. I therefore apprehend and do attach thee for an abuser of the world, a practicer of arts inhibited, and out of warrant lay hold upon him. If he do resist, subdue him at his peril.
Hold your hands! How may the Duke be therewith satisfied, whose messengers are here about my side, upon some present business of the state, to bring me to him?
'Tis true, most worthy Signor. The Duke's in council, and your noble self, I am sure, sent for.
How? The Duke in council? In this time of night? Bring him away. Mine's not an idle cause. The Duke himself, or any of my brothers of the state, cannot but feel this wrong as it twere their own. For if such actions may have passage free, bond slaves and pagans shall our statesmen be.
No composition in these news that gives them credit.
Indeed, they are disproportioned. My letters say 107 galleys.
And mine 140.
Yet mine 200, yet do they all confirm a Turkish fleet and bearing up to Cyprus.
Here comes Brabantio and the valiant Moor.
Valiant Othello, we must straight employ you against the general enemy Ottoman. I did not see you. Welcome, gentle Signor. We lacked your counsel and your help tonight.
So did I yours. Good. Your grace pardon me. Neither my place nor aught I heard of business hath raised me from my bed, nor doth the general care take hold on me. For my particular grief is of so floodgate and o'erbearing nature that it ingluts and swallows other sorrows, and it is still itself.
Why? What's the matter?
My daughter. Oh, my daughter.
Dead?
Aye, to me. She is abused, stolen from me, and corrupted by spells and medicines, but of mountebanks, for nature so preposterously to err, being not deficient, blind, or lame of sense, sans witchcraft could not.
Where he be that in this foul proceeding hath thus beguiled your daughter of herself, and you of her, the bloody book of law, you shall yourself read in the bitter letter after your own sense, yea, though our proper son stood in your action.
Humbly I thank your grace. Here is the man, this Moor, whom now it seems your special mandate for the state affairs hath hither brought.
Yes.
What in your own part can you say to this?
Nothing, but it is so.
Most potent, grave, and reverend seniors, that I've ta'en away this old man's daughter? It is most true. True, I have married her. The very head and front of my offending hath this extent, no more. Rude am I in my speech, and little blessed with a soft phrase of peace. Yet by your gracious patience, I will a round unvarnished tale deliver of my whole course of love. What drugs, what charms, what conjuration, and what mighty magic, for such proceeding I am charged withal, I won his daughter.
A maiden never bold of spirit, so still and quiet that her motion blushed at herself, and she, in spite of nature, of years, of country, credit, everything to fall in love with that she feared to look on? It is a judgment maimed and most imperfect. That will confess perfection so could err against all rules of nature, and must be driven out to find practices of cunning hell. Why this should be. I therefore vouch again that with some mixtures, powerful o'er the blood, or with some dram conjured to this effect, he wrought upon her.
To vouch this is no proof.
But Othello, speak. Did you by indirect and forced courses subdue and poison this young maid's affections?
I do beseech you, send for the lady to the Sagittary, and let her speak of me before her father. If you do find me foul in her report, the trust, the office I do hold of you, not only take away, but your sentence even fall upon my life.
Fetch Desdemona hither.
Ensign, conduct them. You best know the place.
Yes, sir.
And still she come, as truly as to heaven, I do confess the vices of my blood. So justly to your grave ears I'll present how I did thrive in this fair lady's love, and she in mine.
Say it, Othello.
Her father loved me, oft invited me, still questioned me the story of my life. From year to year, the battles, sieges, fortunes that I have passed. I ran it through, even from my boyish days to the very moment that he bade me tell it, wherein I spake of most disastrous chances, of moving accidents by flood and field, of hair-breadth escapes in the imminent deadly breach, of being taken by the insolent foe and sold to slavery, of my redemption thence, and portents in my travels history, wherein of Antre's vast and desert idle, rough quarries, rocks, hills whose heads touch heaven. It was my hint to speak, such was my process. These things to hear would Desdemona seriously incline, but still the house affairs would draw her hence, whichever as she could with haste dispatch, she'd come again, and with a greedy ear devour up my discourse, which I observing, took once a pliant hour, and found good means to draw from her a prayer of earnest heart, that I would all my pilgrimage delate, whereof by parcels she had something heard, but not intentively. I did consent, and often did beguile her of her tears, when I did speak of some distressful stroke that my youth suffered. My story being done, she gave me for my pains a world of sighs. She swore, in faith, 'twas strange, 'twas passing strange, 'twas pitiful, 'twas wondrous pitiful. She wished she had not heard it, yet she wished that heaven had made her such a man. She thanked me, and bade me, if I had a friend that loved her, I should but teach him how to tell my story, and that would woo her. Upon this hint I spake. She loved me for the dangers I had passed, and I loved her that she did pity them. This only is the witchcraft I have used. Here comes the lady, let her witness it.
I think this tale would win my daughter too.
Come hither, gentle mistress. Do you perceive in all this noble company where most you owe obedience?
My noble father, I do perceive here a divided duty. To you I am bound for life and education. My life and education both do learn me how to respect you. You are the lord of duty, and I am hitherto your daughter. But here's my husband, and so much duty as my mother showed to you, preferring you before her father, so much I challenge that I may profess due to the Moor, my lord.
God be with you. I have done. Please it your grace, on to state affairs. Come hither, Moor. I here do give thee that with all my heart, which but thou hast already, with all my heart I would keep from thee. For your sake, Jewel, I am glad at soul I have no other child. For thy escape would teach me tyranny to hang clogs on them. I have done, my lord.
The Turk, with a most mighty preparation, makes for Cyprus. Othello, the fortitude of the place is best known to you. You must therefore be content to slubber the gloss of your new fortunes with this more stubborn and boisterous expedition.
Most humbly, therefore, bending to your state, I crave fit disposition for my wife, due reference of place and exhibition, with such accommodation and besort as levels with her breeding.
Why, at her father's?
I'll not have it so.
Nor I.
Nor I. Most gracious Duke, to my unfolding, lend your prosperous ear, and let me find a charter in your voice to assist my simpleness.
What would you, Desdemona?
That I did love the Moor to live with him. So that, dear lords, if I be left behind a moth of peace, and he go to the war, the rights for which I love him are bereft me, and I a heavy interim shall support by his dear absence. Let me go with him.
Let her have your voice.
Be it as you shall privately determine. Either for her stay or going, the affair cries haste, and speed must answer it.
You must await tonight.
With all my heart.
At 9 in the morning, here we'll meet again. Othello, leave some officer behind, and he shall our commission bring to you, with such things else of quality and respect as doth import you.
So please your grace, my ensign, a man he is of honesty and trust. To his conveyance I assign my wife, with what else needful your good grace shall think to be sent after me.
Let it be so. Good night to every one, and noble signor, if virtue no delight and beauty lack, your son-in-law is far more fair than black.
Adieu, brave Moor. Use Desdemona well.
Look to her, Moor, if thou hast eyes to see. She has deceived her father and may thee.
My life upon her faith, honest Iago. My Desdemona must I leave to thee. I prithee, let thy wife attend on her, and bring them after in the best advantage.
Yes, sir.
Come, Desdemona. I have but an hour of love, of worldly matter and direction to spend with thee. We must obey the time.
Iago!
What sayest thou, noble heart?
What will I do, thinkest thou?
Why, go to bed and sleep?
I will incontinentally drown myself.
If thou dost, I shall never love thee after. Why, thou silly gentleman?
It is silliness to live when to live is torment.
Oh, villainous. Ere I would say I would drown myself for the love of a guinea hen, I would change my humanity with a baboon.
What should I do? I confess it is my shame to be so fond, but it is not in my virtue to amend it.
Virtue? A fig. 'Tis in ourselves that we are thus, or thus. Our bodies are our gardens, to the which our wills are gardeners. Why, the power and corrigible authority of this lies in our wills. If the balance of our lives had not one scale of reason to poise another of sensuality, the blood and baseness of our natures would conduct us to most preposterous conclusions. But we have reason to cool our raging motions, our carnal stings, our unbidden lusts, whereof I take this, that you call love, to be a sect or scion.
It cannot be!
It is merely a lust of the blood and a permission of the will. Come, be a man. Drown thyself? Drown cats and blind puppies. I have professed me thy friend, and I confess me knit to thy deserving with cables of perdurable toughness. I could never better stead thee than now. Put money in thy purse. It cannot be that Desdemona should long continue her love to the Moor. Put money in thy purse, nor he his to her. These Moors are changeable in their wills. She must change for youth. When she is sated with his body, she will find the error of her choice. If thou wilt needs damn thyself, do it a more delicate way than drowning. Make all the money thou canst. If sanctimony and a frail vow betwixt an erring barbarian and a super subtle Venetian be not too hard for my wits and all the tribe of hell, thou shalt enjoy her. Therefore, make money. A pox of drowning thyself, it is clean out of the way. Seek thou rather to be hanged encompassing thy joy than to be drowned and go without her.
Wilt thou be fast to my hopes if I depend on the issue?
Thou art sure of me. Go make money. I have told thee often, and I retell thee again and again, I hate the Moor. My cause is hearted. Thine hath no less reason. Let us be conjunctive in our revenge against him. If thou canst cuckold him, thou dost thyself a pleasure, me a sport. There are many events in the womb of time which will be delivered. Traverse, go, provide thy money. We will have more of this tomorrow. Adieu.
Where shall we meet in the morning?
At my lodging.
I'll be with thee betimes.
Go to. Farewell. Do you hear, Roderigo?
What say you?
No more of drowning. Do you hear?
I am changed.
Go to. Farewell. Put money enough in your purse.
I'll sell all my land.
Thus do I ever make my fool my purse.
for I mine own gained knowledge should profane, if I would time expend with such snipe, but for my sport and profit, I hate the Moor. And it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he has done my office. I know not if it be true, but I for mere suspicion in that kind will do as if for surety. He holds me well, the better shall my purpose work on him. Cassio's a proper man, let me see now, to get his place and to plume up my will in double knavery. How? Let's see. After some time, to abuse Othello's ears that he is too familiar with his wife, he hath a person and a smooth dispose to be suspected, framed to make women false. The Moor is of a free and open nature that thinks men honest that but seem to be so, and will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are. I have it. It is engendered. Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.